Welcome to CG Live. It's a great day to be alive. Today I get to hang out with, next to Jesus, the most important person in my life. Yes, my awesome wife of 20 years, Alexa Ahlman, is in the house today. We're going to talk about all things motherly, Mother's Day. It's going to be a great conversation. Can't wait for that. Also, shout out, we had such an amazing worship experience at both of our campuses. Lots of moms feeling the love and joy of Jesus, the resurrection power of Jesus. My invitation for you as we head into the summer month, do not hesitate gathering together for worship. Make weekly worship, make connecting with your small group, maybe even taking your next step on a serve team a priority into these summer months. It's going to be special, and enjoy this conversation with my special wife. Her name is Alexa. Peace. Welcome to CG Live. I get to hang out with Alexa Ahlman, and we've been, I was thinking the other day, married 20 years, dated for like 5 years prior to that. So like 25 years of our 43 years of life have been hanging out together.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's good.
Had to hang out with me.
That's fun.
But we have 3 high schoolers right now, a graduate. I think this is being released just before her graduation. And so we've walked through all these different times. It's crazy how things have evolved in terms of what we care about with our kids as they've grown. So how has kind of motherhood changed as our kids have gone from, infancy to toddler to, I think, the real sweet times. And parents, if you're in this time right now, rejoice in it, because people said it would get harder, and it does. And the sweet time, though, I think being like 7 to 11, 7 to 12, somewhere in there as they're growing up. So how has motherhood kind of changed, though, through all these different seasons?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I think when they're little, you worry so much about every little stage or phase, and you're like so worried about them taking a pacifier or getting them to sleep through the night, and then it's the potty training, and then it's just like goes so fast. Or you want them to sit up, you want them to crawl, you want them to walk, and so I do feel like all through that time, though, I would have to constantly remind myself to enjoy the phase we were in and not be looking forward to the next phase. But I don't know. Now with teenagers, it's so different. Like there's no phases really. It's like you're kind of done with the phases, and now you just get to enjoy the people that they are and who God has made them, and you still get to help shape them a little bit, but they don't need you as much. So yeah, that's changed. Like for instance, Mother's Day, when they're little, most moms would want a little break from them and want to have a massage or like a quiet time to go read by the pool, where like this year my Mother's Day request was to have my kids around me. Like they can't not be around me. I want them.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be on a phone or watching a kid movie while I relax. So
And it was great.
It's just different. Yeah.
It was fun to go out to dinner and to have adult conversations. One thing I think we're doing okay at, we don't thrive at everything, but I think getting family dinners pretty consistent. During football season, it gets difficult because of the schedule. We're trying to end practice at 7, so maybe our dinner time can be just a little bit later. But sitting down for that face-to-face time now and asking them, highs and lows and just how are you doing, and letting them interact with one another as we head into our summer and stepping away for sabbatical for 10 weeks. I'm like, I'll never get this time, and we'll never get this time again.
Yeah.
Now, we'll get time because God is above time, and we'll be with the timeless God into eternity. So we don't have to be too kind of teary about it. But you want to focus on every moment, not waste a moment. It seems like people say this, and I think it's true, that the older we get, right, the faster time goes. And with parenting, it's definitely true. It feels like those younger years were, the days are slow, but the years are really fast.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the invitation for parents at whatever season of life you've got kids, even speaking to the mom or the grandparent who has adult kids. Like, you never stop being a parent.
Yeah.
We're always going to be, and I think that sets the right sense of urgency or lack thereof. Like, they're just going to go and they're going to grow and things are going to look different. They're going to leave and cleave, God willing, to a Jesus loving spouse, but it's going to be good. Yeah. It's going to be good, and a job well done. Well, I can say this: all three of our kids love Jesus and want to grow in their faith, and you're doing a wonderful job of kind of revealing who God has made them to be, because all three of them are very unique. Speak to how unique it is to mother different kids, because if you got more than one, you realize, oh my goodness, I can't believe they're so different and they live in the same house.
Yeah, a lot of moms say, like, I raised them all the same, but they're all so different. And I think it's harder because you have to discipline some differently than the others. But then your type A firstborns don't think that's fair to discipline them differently than the others. So it's just funny to try and find the balance. And I think that comes from really knowing your kid and taking the time to know their heart and how it works. Like, if they're lying, I don't know. You just can handle that differently on a kid when you know their heart is good and they just need a little redirection. You don't necessarily need to ground them for like a whole month. You just need to have that heart-to-heart conversation, and it's done there.
Yeah.
So, but I think that just takes time from motherhood. I mean, when they're little, it's just always a timeout. So who knows? I don't know.
Raising humans is the greatest endeavor a person can ever aspire toward. That's why it takes two. Best case scenario, it takes two on one, because it's going to be hard. How is Jesus through some of our harder times as parents, and for you as a mom?
Oh gosh. I mean, Jesus is like the best parent ever. And when you are hard on yourself for yelling at your kids or just making the wrong decision or doing the wrong thing, it's hard not to be down on yourself as a mom. But I think, and it depends on the age of your kids, but I think when you can look at how Jesus handles us and how frustrated he might be with us when we sin over and over again, it's a lot easier for us to show grace to our kids, and to not be so hard on them is what I've realized. Like, oh my gosh, like God could be so mad at me for these things. Obviously he isn't. He loves us. He knows what we're doing, and he's so faithful to us, even though we just keep messing up. And I'm just reminded of that every time I'm a mom, or every time the kids, do something wrong and then I don't handle it the correct way. I will always go back to them and be like, I probably shouldn't have yelled at you, or I don't know if that was too harsh, or what did you think about that? And I don't know, just to be grateful that he has shown us that faithfulness.
Often parents have to say sorry to their kids.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's powerful.
Well, yeah. I lost my temper, or I thought I put the worst construction on what it is you did or didn't do. And you think about grace. There's the foundation of our life is grace with God, and then that changes the way we walk alongside others. One of my favorite leadership books. You don't really do the leadership book thing, and so, but you can comment. You can understand this metaphor. It's called Leadership and Self-Deception. If you've not read the book Leadership and Self-Deception, it is so powerful. I'm walking through it with all of our coaches.
Okay.
And there's been some neat confessing coaches at Gilbert Christian High School football in the off season, and it uses this picture or analogy of in the box or out of the box. And when you're in the box towards someone, you easily blame them, and you actually need them to be in the box to justify your blame of them, that they're actually the problem. And what gets us out of the box is when we stop viewing the other person as an object who you actually need to be wrong so that you can feel more self-righteous and more as a person who is dearly loved by God and has their own motivations, feelings, experiences, and you have your own. And then the way you draw near to them out of the box and invite them to be out of the box is, they don't use this language, but it is something like confession, something like, I don't see clearly, something like, I need you, I'm better because you're in my life. And that has powerful ramifications for our life as the church, and obviously should shape our homes. And they tell a lot of stories of young people who have had parents who were in the box toward them and almost needed them to be dysfunctional so that they would have, this is how weird humans are, so that they would have a reason for existing and even, a purpose, because I'm so disappointed in that. For me, in my life, I think you healthy parents, like, that just wasn't our experience.
Right.
I think we had parents who were healthy, had an appropriate sense of self, weren't looking for us to be God for them.
Right.
Or vice versa, and that's really, really great. So I think the image of being out of the box toward another, starting with a starting point of confession, and I think it's a beautiful and a tragic day when a kid realizes, my mom and dad are just humans.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be there someday, and because you can idolize them, and then when that wound of mature parent hits, it can be fatal for some kids. But I think you kind of reveal over time, I'm more like you than dislike you, but I have 20, 30 years on you, so I can help you with wisdom. And I think now in this time, as kids move into college and beyond, our role is much more a guide by the side rather than telling them as a sage in the stage kind of what to do.
Yeah.
Any response to that?
Yeah, I think I like that better. I think that will be fun to not have to tell them what to do, or just to help guide them through life. Or for them, it's so fun for them to ask, like, what we were like as friends, or what we did in high school. Like,
we got into that deep conversation the other day.
Yeah.
And our brains were unlocked to tell them stories we'd never told them before.
Yeah, so that was fun, and they wanted to know, which was kind of cool. So
I always like to do the thing on Mother's Day where tell mom what we love about her, and you didn't want me to do that.
No, I'm tired of that.
Okay, well, let's do something else. So we told stories.
I said, tell me your favorite memory with me.
Yeah.
Or one of them. So that was really special.
That was really sweet. That was good.
Yeah, it was sweet.
I wasn't too hurt. I got over it. But no, I love you. And this is great. It's awesome to see God unfold our kids. Mm-hmm. I think the final thing as it relates to being a parent is they're not ours, right?
Yeah.
They're his. They're his, fearfully and wonderfully made by him, for him, with a plan and purpose that he's going to help them to fulfill. Yeah. And I can't be God, control my kids. I got to be connected to our kids. But my identity, even as a parent, I think maybe we'll close here. Our identity is not in seeing our kids succeed.
Right.
Like, that's a faulty place to go.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of parents, as your kids kind of grow and experience some semblance of success, like that can be a huge temptation, is to like boast. I think it's kind of funny when people come up to us and say, congratulations, It's like, I didn't, for your kid doing something.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I know.
They're the ones that put in the work.
Right.
Right?
We
So
just encourage them.
Anything more to say about parents' identity being around their kids?
Yeah, I don't think it's good. I know some moms that is true for them, and it actually makes me pretty sad for them. Gosh, I get it. It's hard. I have not been too attached to my kids in that way, like that I own them. What am I going to do when they leave my house? Like, they're always going to be a part of us, but I do feel really bad for the moms that, I don't know, just cling to their kids too much, and it is their whole identity, and it's almost like their kids are their idol. That's hard.
Yeah.
Hard to see.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Well, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming and doing this with us. All you moms out there, your role is very, very important. Thanks for loving and caring and letting your kids know that there's a better day coming, and that you're always gonna be there. Well, maybe you're not always gonna be there for them, but Jesus is always gonna be there for them, and that's the most important thing you can let your kids know. It's a good day. Go make it a great day. Love you.
Love you.